Well, I rise every morning at 7:45. Some woman who's my wife says, now don't be late. The kids say goodbye, I can't remember their names. Week after week, it's always the same. And it's a, hey boy, can you code it? I can program it right. Nothing ever happens in this life of mine. Hauling out the data on the Xerox line.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Boston area Drupal self-help group. I'm Mark Rosenthal, and I'd like to thank the Arlington Community Media for providing us space and helping us produce this. Tonight we have a presentation on a new set of modules that allows Drupal to interface with standard telephones, and it's probably one of the most exciting collections of Drupal modules I've encountered. So I'd like to introduce Michelle Metz, who's going to tell us all about it. Welcome, Michelle.
Hi, thanks, Mark. Hi there. I'm here to present VoIP Drupal Hands-On Experience. Does everyone know what VoIP is, first of all? Yeah, okay, great. It's voice over internet technology, and let's see. This is going to walk us through the setup and configuration of the basic modules you need to have VoIP Drupal on your website, interacting with your clients, customers, whoever. And I'd like to thank all the Drupal users and developers. They've spent a monumental amount of time creating this brilliant set of modules that you can use as a suite, or you can use some of them individually too. So we'll be looking at all of that. This is just the first in a series of webinars. And as I said, this webinar will walk you through enabling the VoIP Drupal modules and the basic configuration of Tropo, which is a VoIP provider. And we'll go step by step through the admin screens. To follow along, you'll need Drupal 6 installed, and you'll need to have it running and accessible on the internet so that it's not just on your laptop. You'll need administrative permissions to enable modules and to upload modules. You'll also need server access if you're going to be uploading, and the permissions to install. So you'll need a Tropo account, number 4. The account's free. It's free for developers. As long as you're developing, they don't charge you, which is a wonderful thing. And they're very open and responsive to answering questions and helping you get set up because they want to see you be successful. The 5th item is curl. You must have this enabled on your server. It's a typical thing that you'll have on most servers. If you're having trouble or getting error messages about curl, just speak to your web host provider. Most of them, as I've said, provide this. What are the potential uses for VoIP Drupal? Well, when I first looked at it, I was just amazed. I could see so many potential uses just flooding me. You can create a call center, group communications. I'll just take a minute on that. It's the latest module. With groups, you can people can subscribe to groups on your website and receive a text SMS message when something within the group happens or a new node is posted for announcements, or they can receive a voice message. They can also call back and respond to it, so you could do a poll or a survey like that. You can use it for language training courses, emergency announcements, and getting out the vote. Our goals for today are setting up a Tropo account, creating a web API, setting up the VoIP Drupal server configurations, setting up the VoIP Drupal default call configuration, learning how to select scripts, voices, and languages. We'll edit a sample script, and we'll take a peek at visual VoIP Drupal, and I hope that inspires you. And then we'll make a call to the VoIP Drupal conference line and join a conference. Okay, the basic server requirements. I'm not going to dwell too long on this because They're posted, and it's basically the requirements for any basic Drupal install. So you'll have Drupal 6, you'll have the PHP and curl installed on your server, and you'll have your Drupal installation set up to use clean URLs. That's not mandatory, but it really does help. We have a little bit about clean URLs here. You'll notice that this first example of a URL is clean. The second one has the question mark and the equal sign in it, which is, it's not only bad for SEO, but it was bad for me because sometimes I couldn't remember when I was trying to type in a URL, oh, I forgot that equal sign. So setting up for clean URLs is good for everyone. This is an image of the suite of modules that comes with VoIP Drupal. The modules in the bottom area are in the core. So when you download the VoIP Drupal module, these submodules come with it. And they've got some great functionality already built in. It comes with, these modules are separate, but they interact with VoIP Drupal. You can download them and enable them separately or as groups. Like you could use the audio blog and the voicemail. You could use VoIP extension to give extensions to each user in your website or each member, or each node could have an extension. That could be valuable for products. VoIP Drupal does work with UberCart right now, and in 7, we're getting ready to release for beta testing VoIP Drupal for Drupal 7. And that's got some amazing things. It will work with the Drupal Commerce module also. But right now, 6 works with UberCart. The required modules are the ones I spoke about that are in the VoIP Drupal core. When you download that, you'll see inside of it, the folder, you'll have a VoIP Tropo module, VoIP Call, and VoIP Script samples. There'll be other modules in there, but these are the ones that we're going to enable today. If you'd like to work along with some of the other things I'll be mentioning, little modules like Click to Call, which is very powerful, small but powerful. You'll also need 2 standard Drupal modules, CCK and Views. Most Drupal sites already have those installed. People can't seem to live without them. I can't either. So the optional modules are CCK, and within CCK, we'll be enabling the text module and the click-to-call field, which allows you to add a little click-to-call input field on any node in your site. You'll need views and VoIP Drupal, the VoIP script UI. That allows you to look at the sample scripts and interact with them. You can edit them and make them your own. And the click-to-call module, which has 2 submodules in it. It actually has 3, but we're just working with call and the block. Right, so if you go to your modules page within your Drupal installation, Drupal 6, you'll see pretty near the bottom under the V section, VoIP Drupal. And there are all these modules within it. We're just going to be enabling these 4. VoIP Call, VoIP Drupal Core, VoIP Script Samples, and VoIP Tropo. So just check to enable those. And if you are following along and wanting to do the click-to-call, this is where they would be on your modules page. They're actually in 2 sections. Under CCK, you'll have that field that I just mentioned. It allows you to put a click-to-call field on any node. And then there will be its own contained click-to-call section where there are 3 modules. There's the click-to-call core, the block, and click-to-call user. That's pretty neat too. With that, you can enable a little click-to-call widget on any user's account page or profile. Uh-oh, what about the README files? Ooh. Well, if you don't read those, you can sometimes spend hours floating in just mystery, like where did I go wrong, pulling your hair out. This is a sample README file from the VoIP Tropo module. Now, here's something very important. It tells me I need a Tropo account. Well, that might seem obvious to us because it has been posted in the materials for this webinar and screencast. But if I had just downloaded VoIP Drupal, I may not know that I need a Tropo, something else to go with it, another account. If I didn't look at the README file, I could be going, it doesn't work, and on to the next module. How things work. Well, there's a phone user, there's a VoIP provider, and there's Drupal, and then the web user. A phone user would call. They would reach the VoIP provider, which would send them through the API to your Drupal site. And Drupal also works with other modules. The VoIP Drupal works with notifications, actions, triggers, rules. You can pretty much use it with most Drupal modules I've encountered. And then it would, if it's interacting with rules and triggers, when you go here, it would go to the web user and perhaps ask them a question or put them into some type of a category that you had already set with the rules, actions, and triggers. So it's pretty simple. All of these things talk back and forth to each other, and it does allow VoIP Drupal to work with a regular telephone. You don't need Android, iPhone, or anything like that. So let's go to Tropo, set up an account. It's free. Just fill in your name, the info. The trickiest thing about filling out an account at Tropo, of course, will be the CAPTCHA. It's terrible. Those things, they make life difficult for us developers. We always turn those off when we're working. Always turn them on when the site is live. After you log into your Tropo account, you'll be asked to, you'll have a little tab there to create an application. You click on it, and there's two types of applications you can create. You're going to want to create a Tropo web API. And these are all the things that I was just speaking about that talk back and forth with VoIP Drupal, and will know if you've enabled rules, triggers, actions, and it will send them to the right script on your site. Within your Tropo account, after you click to create an application, you can give your application any name, and you will have to add something to the URL, and that's this red part right here. This is where the call handler script lives within your VoIP Drupal install. So you'll have to add this after your URL, and that is in your README file. You can copy and paste it. So you would create your application. After you do that, you would add a phone number to your application. Now, this will be the phone number that you post on your website. And one of the main questions I had when doing this was, can you only use one phone number? That's kind of inefficient. No, you can use many phone numbers. Each person, member of your site could have a phone number if you wanted. Or you could just do it through extensions, like a group could have a phone number, and every member within the group could have an extension that was connected with that phone number. So after you add a phone number, if it's a US phone number, you'll see that Tropo will then show you a field for a call handler for text messaging. You won't see that until you add a US phone number. You will just have the first field here for the call handler script. And of course, again, if you're using unclean URLs, you will have to remember to put the Q and the equal sign, question mark, and all that in there. After you do that, there's a little link down under your information, all the phone numbers, etc., that is your tokens. You'll have to launch these. That is to let Tropo know to activate your phone numbers and accounts. So you'll click on each one, pop-up window comes up, you click Launch Token. And you do that for the voice and the messaging. Those are both outbound tokens. Okay, so for your token numbers, they will appear in your default server configuration. Now that's on your admin toolbar under the VoIP Drupal section. If you go to your default server configuration, you'll see there that it'll ask for a Tropo username and Tropo password. You'll input those, username, password, And this is where you will paste your tokens that you've gotten from the Drupal site. You'll paste your voice outbound token and your messaging outbound token right in here. And it's important that you don't share your tokens with other people because it's connected to your personal account info at Drupal. Right below that, you'll choose the voice and language settings. This is where it gets interesting. You have drop-down lists. You have, there's about 20 or more voices to choose from, different languages. I chose Allison, female, US, English for the default voice. And below that, you can choose a default male voice and a default female voice. Now, where this comes in is with different, the way click-to-call and other modules can work with a widget. That widget will allow you to choose a separate script so that you have a main number and people are calling and it's, hello, welcome, this is the widget company. If you have another number, you want to put it in a block that is used with click-to-call, and that can be assigned to a different script. So when someone calls that, it could be maybe a conference room or a voicemail, or it could be any of the scripts that you choose. So you're pretty much having a default voice is good, but you can always change it when you're setting up the individual piece you're working with. Now if we go to the default server configuration main page, like when you click on it on your admin toolbar, default server configuration, you'll choose Drupal as your default server. If you have other servers installed like Twilio or Plivo, those would appear here. And you would choose, you can only use one at a time as the default. Then we go to the default call configuration, which is the next tab on the administration links under VoIP Drupal. You can choose any name for the caller ID. This will show up when the user calls your number. The caller ID number, I usually just put the number I got from Drupal in there. Text number, this would be if you wanted a separate number for your SMS and text people, you could put that in there. You'll choose the scripts here. This is the outbound call script and outbound call script and inbound call script, and there's a different script for the text. So the VoIP Drupal core comes with about 20 or more sample scripts that are just examples of different things you'd want to do, like a small office, you know, dial 1 for sales, dial 2 for support. There's a default conference call. It says, you know, choose the 3-digit number for your conference and enter that. And these scripts are all listed here. We want to know what to do when things go wrong. At times, yeah, things can go wrong. You might get a busy signal, call hang-ups, no answer. Here's some things you can do. When you first set up a number with Drupal or Twilio or any of the VoIP providers, it can take a little while for it to be propagated through the system, so you have to be patient. It might take up to 2 hours. It usually takes 2 minutes, but you know, you've got to have that patience. And make sure, go back and look, is Drupal selected as your default server? Yes, okay, that's not wrong. Check your server's call log. Under the administration, in VoIP Drupal, there is a link to the call log. You can look in there and see if the call is even getting through to your site. If it's not, there's something wonderful that Tropo.com has here, number 4. It offers a real-time debugger so that you can see what is happening. You would go to the page in your account and click on the real-time account debugger, script debugger, and then you would call the phone number that Tropo has issued you, and you'll see it logging in real time exactly what's happening. You can see where the call is getting stopped or stuck. And also check for typos in your tokens. I would copy and paste those. Don't leave it to chance. Now the location of your VoIP scripts. They come with the core module, and they're located at yoursite.com/VoIP/VoIP scripts. And if you don't have clean URLs, don't forget that Q and the equal sign. And today we're going to enable the conference call script. Also, to see these scripts, you will need views installed. Okay, so this is what it looks like when you go to your VoIP scripts page and it's listing them. You can see the audio blog is listed first. That's a wonderful little module. It works right out of the box. This is what a very simple VoIP Drupal script would look like. It can be that simple. If you created this script and called the phone number, you would hear this script say in whatever voice you chose, "Hello world." Simple as that. Here's what a more complex script looks like. This is a script, as I was mentioning, for the small office hotline, like dial 1 for support, 2 for sales. These scripts are editable. You can make them your own. Just go in and, as I say, hack away at it. You'll notice on the screen here the parts in bold are basically the parts that you don't have to be a programmer. Just get in there and put in your own text. And I haven't had to write any code using this yet, so that is great. Okay, so for testing the system, go to the default call configuration settings and set the default inbound call script to the join conference script. And save it. And since we can't talk to you and don't know what your conference number would be, I will just use mine. And the coolest thing is you can just make up a conference number on the fly. So you can just choose any 3 digits and that would be your conference. As long as you dial that and anyone else calling in, if they use those 3 digits, boom, you're both in the same conference room. So I'm just going to use my cell phone now, and I'm going to call 617-981-4636. If you guys would like to join me in the conference room, that would be great. Oh, got a phone. And then I'll press that. I don't know if, let's see if I can hold it up to my mic. Maybe you'll be able to hear it. And I'm going to make the conference room 333.
Please type in the 3-digit number of the conference room you would like to join.
Oops, okay, 333.
No input received. Please try again.
Okay, that was my fault. I pushed a button on my cell phone.
Please type in the 3-digit number of the conference room you would like to join.
333.
You type 333. To accept this number, press 1. To type it once again, press 2.
Oh,
To
press
hang up,
1. Oops.
join conference room 333.
Hello, I'm in the conference room.
Hello, Mickey.
Hello, Mickey.
And we have some people in the conference room with us. Proof of concept. It's this module works right out of the box. I did nothing, no programming. I just installed it and enabled it and got the Tropo account, and it's all set. So thank you, and goodbye from the conference room. All right, so you can test your own with your friends and family. I'm sure they'll get sick of you. Mine did. I'm like, call this number and dial 33. Okay. The key benefits of the platform. All right, what does it do? It facilitates the construction of a unified communication system. That means everything can be going through your website with one number. But it's not just that, it's unification in a global way, because you can, with Tropo or Twilio, any of the providers, you can get numbers, worldwide numbers, countrywide numbers, so that if you have a company that's in Boston, you could have a local number in San Francisco, too, through your website and through Tropo. So that anyone, you could have 30 numbers all going to that same message or going to different messages. So if you, like I said, have a store in Boston, all your clients are from Australia, you get an Australian phone number. That way they're making a local call. And plus with VoIP, the fees are like way low. It's like a penny to 2 pennies a minute to talk worldwide. This makes Drupal accessible from any phone. There's no data plan needed. It enables the expansion of the community beyond the web, because with this you really don't even need a computer to shop online. You could just have the phone number of the store that you love. You call them. And the interactive scripts also do its voice input, so that you can have certain selections, like would you like, red, yellow, or blue, and they can say blue, and it will understand, it will do the voice recognition, which is really incredible. And it works with other Drupal modules, like I mentioned, actions, triggers, rules, etc. And it's open source and free, so you are in control of it. For administrators and people who build Drupal sites that aren't really programmers, it's easy installation, and there's just no programming required for so many of the basic utilitarian features. They just are right there. Also, if they're not, you can fully customize it. It's PHP with a easy script that's similar to PHP, a scripting language. It runs as part of the Drupal system itself, so there you go, as I said, interacting with rules, triggers, and workflows and things. You can enhance user interaction with ready-to-use things like the audio blogs. Like kids really seem to like that. They can call up and they can just leave messages of what they did today on their blog instead of having to type it. And it's very interesting how people are using these things. There's a few demonstrations or examples we have later. Okay. All right, so next, what can you do with VoIP Drupal without any programming skills? That's going to be my upcoming screencast and webinar. There are, 5, 6 or so modules that you don't need to do anything with. You install them, configure, minor configuration, and they work. So my second webinar will be walking through the setup and configurations of VoIP Drupal modules that are very user-friendly, things you can do without programming. And as I said, there's more than 20 sample scripts. So those will be included. And it'll be called, I guess, VoIP Drupal with little or no programming. That's kind of original. And here's just a few of the modules that we'll be covering. Click to call can enable your website to make outgoing phone calls. Audio field, using CCK and an audio field, you can add the audio field to any content type. So you could get audio feedback from people or have an audio message played on the node when they came there. Audio recorder enables people to post audio messages to your site. Phone recorder allows them to do that using their telephone. The small office script is the one we just looked at, dial 2 for support, etc. We'll be looking at audio blog and extensions. We'll be looking at these deeply, and we'll be actually going through them and setting them up and getting them working on your site. So what exactly is Click to Call? I've mentioned it quite a bit. It comes with 2 admin screens. One is for the general settings for blocks. Click to Call works mainly with the blocks, so you can choose how many Click to Call blocks you would like to have, and they all work independently from each other. So you could have 30 different blocks doing 30 different things with 30 different telephone numbers even. So it starts out default with 2 blocks. And on the admin screen below here, this is where you fill in the title of your block, and as I was saying before, you can choose scripts independently for different widgets. Right here, it's asking you to choose the Click to Call script to use for this particular block. This is one style of a block that's enabled with Click to Call. This is what appears on your site. It appears just as a text link, and then when someone clicks, it will unfold and they can type their number in, and the system will call them. After that, I'd like to do a webinar on, this is very exciting, it's called Visual VoIP Drupal. It allows you to drag and drop pieces of scripts around. So if you're not a programmer, but you kind of have a little programming skills, this is incredible. It lets you just drag pieces of the script, like hang up, or a beep, or choosing a voice. I was able to, without really even looking deeply at it, I was able to create a script that made one of my websites call the other website, and then enter me into a conference room, and also take my zip code. It entered me into a chat room or conference call that was relevant to my zip code, right? So it's just amazing what can be done with this. So why don't we go and create a script? Create and edit a script, actually, in the sandbox. VoIP Drupal has a sandbox website set up, and it's where most of the new modules are released, and where you'll find out the latest news of what's going on with VoIP Drupal. If you go to voipdrupal.org, log in on the left with the username VoIP Test and the password VoIP Test. On the right, you can click on Create VoIP Scripts, and a little box will appear, and it will have a sample of a script in it that you can overwrite, or you can just edit and add to. This time we're going to edit it. You can edit the text that says "your message here." So you'll change that to say whatever, hello, welcome to my website, and VoIP Drupal. Save the script, and then on the right you'll click Listen to your own VoIP scripts. And it will bring up a little page where you will choose a title for your script, and this is all click to call, and then you will save, and it will create a node, and you'll click on the title link to that node, and there will be your script. So this is the sandbox. This is what it looks like. You would be going there, and you would be clicking over here on Create a Visual Script, and then you can listen to your own scripts too. If you go to the website, it lists them all, and you click on a link. Right, so things we accomplished today: we created and enabled an application in Tropo. We enabled the VoIP Drupal modules. We set up the VoIP Drupal server config and the VoIP Drupal default call config. We selected scripts, voices, languages for messages, and we edited a sample script. We did not do any programming, and we took a peek at Visual VoIP Drupal to inspire you. We visited the sandbox to play with the scripts. Now, if you'd like to get involved, which I suggest you do, because we don't even know where this is going. It's just beginning. There's so many exciting things we can do with your brain involved in this. Think of use cases. You could join the VoIP Drupal groups, play along with the scripts at the sandbox. There's more of them in there. Create new modules. If you're a programmer, there's many modules that can be written on top of this. If you're not a programmer and you're an admin, create new sites using VoIP Drupal. Let us know what you're doing with it. You can always contribute to the code or the documentation if you're not a programmer. It would be great to do what our friend Mark Rosenthal did and organize a meetup in your area where people can talk about VoIP Drupal. I've posted the slides online, so you could have access to them, and I look forward to people doing their own presentations on VoIP Drupal, telling your neighbors and friends about it. Here's the last most exciting thing I found out about VoIP Drupal. Using FreeSwitch as a server and Plivo as your VoIP provider, you could basically set up connectivity in remote areas for people who don't have access to online or internet. Places in the world where they have like one general store where they have, but everyone has a cell phone, but nobody has computers, nobody has any of that. Well, this could give them access to the world. They could be posting blogs, and their voices could be included in our worldwide discussions. Because right now there's 800 million people with smartphones, but there's 5.6 billion people without smartphones. and PCs, so we'd like to reach them. Getting involved in the community goes both ways. Give support, get support. Don't be left hanging. Upcoming events, stay tuned to the VoIP Drupal groups, and I'll be posting dates of future webinars. Office hours are every Wednesday. You can log into the IRC chat room. You can find links to that within the group section, and you can ask questions. You can actually speak to the guys who created this stuff. And they love to get feedback and love to hear what you're doing with it. So please don't feel like you'd be a pest or your question's too silly or too newbie. You know, just get in there and start asking. Thanks for coming. My name is Mickey, and I'm making a Drupal connection. I hope you all connect with Drupal and make Drupal connect with others. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mickey. I have just one question. You mentioned
Yes.
that you can set up VoIP Drupal so that one web server will call another web server.
Yes.
Do you ever worry that your web servers are going to, communicate with each other and leave you out of the loop?
I hope so. That would be phenomenal. I would be an instant star overnight, right? Oh, here's my websites. They talk to each other. Talk amongst yourselves. Yes.
Anyway, thanks for a great presentation.
You're welcome.
And we'll be looking forward to the subsequent presentations on the topic.
All right.
So thank you.
Thanks a bunch. Cheerio.
Someday I'm gonna give up all the buttons and things. Punch the old time clock until it can't ring. I'll burn up a necktie and set myself free. And no one's gonna fold, bend, or mutilate me. Hey boy, can you code it? I can program it right. Nothing ever happens in this life of mine. Hauling out the data on the Xerox line.